All right, so this topic is near and dear to my heart because elbow pain is something that I've been dealing with for a long time. And I've done lots of different things that have really helped improve it, stopped it from getting too bad, but it's always kind of lingered there. But what I'm really excited to share in this video is just a style of exercise. It's pretty simple. That's really changed recently for me, how my elbows feel, and it can have an effect really quickly. I'm not saying it's going to solve everyone's elbow pain instantly, but if you have this type of inner elbow soreness from grappling or doing jiu-jitsu, it's probably going to help you a good amount. You've probably tried doing wrist extensions and opening the fingers, you know, like with those bands that you see people selling, or you can just use the bands that they wrap broccoli in or something at the grocery store. And that can help. That's all stuff that I've done, wrist extensions and wrist curls. I do lots of different stuff for grip strength and elbow strength, wrist strength, and all of that. That has made a big difference and helps my performance, and it helps reduce my elbow pain a good amount. And I've been kind of cruising on sort of a minimum amount of elbow pain for a while, and this exercise really helped it. And the key is that when you're doing these wrist curls, wrist extensions, the whole rationale for why they would help this inner elbow pain is just kind of getting these muscles stronger, but also getting them into a fully shortened position so that this stuff can get more lengthened, because this is what we're always shortening and putting under a lot of stress and strain when we're gripping and when we're lifting. And oftentimes, you know, actually strengthening that, while it can be helpful for performance, might make your elbow pain feel worse. And so when we're doing these wrist extensions, typically the issue with it is that you got to hold on to a dumbbell. And so even though you're extending your wrist like this, your fingers are still flexed. And so that's not allowing all of this stuff to become fully shortened. This is kind of putting a bit of a stretch on it. So a simple solution for that is to use a band or a belt. I'm sure someone makes a good device, or you could think of something that would attach to your fingers more effectively, but I don't mind just going over the knuckles here with a belt, covering the tops of the knuckles. And now we have something where we can start to hold in a fully shortened position and get a bit of an isometric squeeze here, okay? The problem with this, you know, if I had a way to attach it to my fingers a bit more securely, I could do more of a full range of motion. It's gonna fall off if I go there. But this is the first variation, just holding it stationary like that. You can also head over to a bar or something like we have over here and use that for support so that you're not having to hold yourself in place so much. Keeping your fingers spread like that, and you can do some extensions like so. I want to make sure though that I can fully lift up here and that it's not slipping off. You can play with kind of the angle of your forearm here against the bar or the bench that you're using for support. If I'm more leaned forward like this, I'm going to be able to get to that fully shortened position, and that's, I think, what's most important here. Holding that. But you can also be leaning a bit more further back, and you'll be able to get more tension on the lengthened position of these. I think all of that is going to be beneficial. But if I was going to distill it to just one, I would have your forearm kind of leaning forward like that, so you can get a full shortening here. Do a set of like 20 or more reps with that, and I'd bet your elbow will feel a lot better if you're dealing with what I've dealt with and what a lot of people deal with. If that's too tricky to find a plate, you don't have weights and you don't have a belt, a lot of people have these types of like kind of crappy PT bands. You can quite simply do the same thing and just kind of step on it or fix it to something and kind of try to hold it like so. So I'll show you kind of what I'm doing here, just like that. And you can hold it here, just like so. Trying to keep extension. What's nice about the band is you can start to get it over your fingers a bit. That's going to make it more challenging. And you just kind of start to get a burn here, and that's really going to help how that feels. So give that a try. Again, grip strength and training your elbows, wrists, and fingers is such low-hanging fruit for grapplers and really for everyone. Like, I understand why people don't want to train legs sometimes because it sucks. but training your grip and your hands, it's fun. It's not, I won't say it's easy, but it's way easier than stuff like doing squats. And it's super important. Like everybody runs into elbow, wrist, and hand problems, even if you're not doing jiu-jitsu. And it can really mess up your ability to just do stuff you want to do and be independent. And, you know, especially if you do manual labor, different things like this. Artists, people that work with their hands, or musicians deal with this a lot too. Obviously, grapplers deal with it a ton. And there's a lot of different training methods that I like to use. I go over all of that in my Grappler Strength and Resilience program. If you want to check that out in the link below, check it out. I like to use rice bucket. I like to use a lot of exercises from arm wrestlers, from rock climbers, different types of grip sports that I've come across. I should give credit where credit is due on this kind of straight finger wrist extension. I got that tip from Daniel Strauss, who's also a jiu-jitsu guy, an incredibly strong kind of grip dude. Check him out. He's got a lot of awesome stuff, and he's way bigger than me, so you know, you probably already know about him. But yeah, check out if you want more exercises. You know, in addition to this is just something to get you going and get it feeling better. I would highly recommend, once it's starting to feel better, getting back into heavier training, things like preacher curls, weighted pull-ups. You know, hammer curls at a higher rep are also something that helps my elbows feel a lot better when they're feeling crappy. But this one's got to, you know, be the GOAT for what's made my inner elbow just feel instantly better the most. All the other stuff is kind of over time. It's allowing my performance and strength to stay there and get better. This is kind of one of those magic fixes for me and for a lot of people that I've shown it to. So give it a try, and also check out the link in the description for the Grappler Strength and Resilience program if you want to become stronger, more durable, and more formidable grappler. Stay on the mats longer and build up more skills over time because you're not having to take as much time off for injury. So thanks for checking out the video, and I'll see you in the next one.